This kid decided to go to BYU. They have an honor code. You ain't gonna be getting no buns for 12 months. You ain't about to be getting wasted around here. You ain't about to be smoking, getting high around here.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pond.
When I first started making basketball content, I was very apprehensive about putting out my personal thoughts about things because, I grew up being a basketball aficionado. I played basketball video games. I read basketball cards, basketball magazines, basketball almanacs. I wore basketball garb. I watched as many basketball games as I possibly could. I studied basketball encyclopedias. I really became a student of the game. So my perspective of when I'm watching basketball is one of someone who's been studying this game since I was 9 years old. And I know for everybody, that's not how they view basketball. And for a lot of people today, the way that they consume basketball is through social media. And social media is just a bunch of opinions and people trying to push narratives and trying to be funny to get clicks for engagement so they can get paid. That doesn't lead to great basketball conversations because the NBA is a product that is based around players' ability and players' talent. And the moment that you have a player who's really good, who has great ability and has great talent, the NBA uses their marketing strategies to tell that player's story. And one player's story who needs to be told at an exceptionally high level, with the way that they told Michael Jordan's story and Shaq's story and Allen Iverson's story, is Dybantsa. Like I said in my scout report on AJ, with these two eyes, in person, that's the best high school basketball player I've ever seen. And Dybantsa has intangibles that's going to help elevate the NBA. Because the problem with the NBA right now is that we do not have anyone in the league that's an American-born basketball player that can carry a franchise consistently to win championships and can be a great family-friendly marketing face for the NBA. Anthony Edwards is someone with exceptional basketball talent. But Anthony Edwards is kind of hood. And I like Ant. I like him a lot. But when you talk about the hoodness and, the stuff he got going on off the court and all that, that's not really a family-friendly image. Got the same situation with Ja Morant. Up in Boston, you got two guys who are exceptionally marketable. They're kind of quiet, but like I said, it's two of them on the same team. There needs to be one guy who wants to take the reins of the Chicago Bulls like Michael Jordan did. Who wants to take the reins of the Los Angeles Lakers like a Shaquille O'Neal and a Kobe Bryant did. Who wants to take the reins of the Cleveland Cavaliers, Miami Heat, Lakers, and wherever he decides to post up shop like LeBron James has done. And Dybantsa is one of those kids, one of those players. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why Dybantsa has a very realistic chance to help the NBA with the ratings issue and to be the face of the NBA going forward. But before I do that, make sure you click like. Make sure you click share. Make sure you click subscribe. And make sure you watch this entire video all the way to the end. Number 1, he just wants to hoop. I've been very fortunate. God has always put me in positions where, I've been around elite basketball circles. And I've been fortunate to get a chance to know AJ's father, Ace, who's a hilarious dude. Anybody that knows Ace personally knows he's a character. And then AJ himself. And from what I've been able to see, the conversations I've been able to have with them, AJ is a kid that just wants to play basketball. He understands social media. He understands how he needs to embrace the fans, as you see when he committed to BYU and he was up there inside of the crowd and doing everything you need to do. He understands what he needs to be the face of BYU basketball, and then when he gets to the NBA. But at the end of the day, he just want to hoop. Most of these dudes don't want to hoop. Most of these dudes treat the NBA like it's a fashion show. They show up to the game with their nails painted and they bell bottoms and they purses. They get on the court, they getting pushed around, don't really want to compete at exceptionally hard level, don't have no rivals, get done with the game, put on the super big pink sweatshirt, go into the press conference, and then talk about all types of stuff off the court. They enjoy being in the NBA. They are grateful and appreciative for the blessing that God has given them, but they are not someone who is dedicated to hooping. Dybantsa just wants to hoop. That's all he cares about. That's all he usually talks about. And he's a kid that has shown that is what drives him. And the NBA hasn't had one of those in a very long time. Number 2, his skill set. AJ Dybantsa is 6'9". Last time I seen him, which was the other week ago when I went to his game in Kentucky, he's probably about close to 6'10" now. He has a handle. He can shoot mid-range. He can shoot threes. He can get to the basket whenever he wants to. He can dunk whenever he wants to. He can guard at an exceptionally high level. His foundation for his skills, he's going to be able to build on that when he starts scoring at the 4th level, when he starts posting up in the pinch post, mid post, low post. He can become that type of threat. He can be a guy that can easily average 25 points per game in the NBA by his 2nd year. And I can see him winning some scoring titles in the NBA. When you have somebody that has that well-rounded of a skill set, number 1, it's exceptionally entertaining to watch from a basketball perspective. But number 2, it builds a massive fan base. That is something that you can market at exceptionally high level. A lot of these guys right now are one-trick ponies. A lot of these guys right now maybe have 2 or 3 things that they're really good at, but once they get scouted, once the coaching staff really locks in, they get neutralized. AJ Dybantsa has the type of game that can modify itself like an amoeba, whoever he's playing against and whoever he's playing with. He's going to be a player that can fit in with practically anybody. It doesn't matter what NBA team that he goes to, they are eventually going to see this is a guy that we need to build around. And if they already have a young superstar there, AJ is going to be a great complementary piece early, and eventually the franchise will be his. And the third and final reason that I think that AJ Dybantsa will be the guy who's really going to save the NBA is because of his support system. Like I said, I've got a chance to know Ace. This is a man that was a first-generation immigrant here in the United States of America, and he decided to be a cop in Boston. A cop. Let's take it even deeper from the sociological perspective. A black man decided to be a cop in Boston. That shows you the type of discipline that AJ was brought up under. That shows you the type of structure he was brought up under. He has both his biological parents and he has 2 sisters. There's a natural respect for women that he has. That dynamic, that family dynamic, we've seen it before. Mom, dad, 2 sisters, 1 boy who's an unbelievable hooper, and his name was Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's upbringing was a little bit different because his dad played. Ace didn't play. Kobe Bryant had a chance to live overseas. That's where he really sharpened his game. AJ sharpened his game here in the American AAU system, in the American prep school system. He has a massive support system. Anyone who recruited AJ during his recruitment process when he committed to BYU, you knew that you didn't talk to AJ first. You talked to Ace first. Ace vetted through all these coaches. Ace vetted through all these financial people. Ace vetted through all these agents. Ace vetted through all these media people, using his cop instincts, using the training he's had. And once he narrowed the list, he said, okay, these are the people that can talk to my son. And he gave AJ his choices. And AJ had a lot of choices. And from that point, AJ got a chance to choose who he connected with. How many elite basketball players have a dad that is trained in social dynamics and psychology and has given his son a filter to choose through these college coaches, to choose through these basketball animals that exist in this business? Not a lot. Not a lot. Because that's a tough position. You got to be a little crunchy. It's a little bit cantankerous. It's a little bit difficult because you got to be a person that's saying no, and you got to be a person that's constantly asking for something, and you're always thinking about, I don't want to trick off these opportunities for my son. Ace did a phenomenal job vetting everybody, and that's why his circle is the way that it is. AJ's not really going to have to worry about crazy family issues off the court. Not, like I said, I'm not deep in their family, and all families have things. But when you look at the guys in the NBA now and the decisions they're making off the court, I don't see AJ making those decisions. This kid decided to go to BYU. They have an honor code. You ain't going to be getting no buns for 12 months. You ain't about to be getting wasted around here. You ain't about to be smoking, getting high around here. That's not what AJ want to do anyway, because he just wants to hoop. You got a kid that can hoop. You got a kid that got an exceptional skill set. You got a kid that understands marketing. You got a kid that has a support system and a strong dad. You got a formula for success. Adam Silver, everybody at the NBA, y'all been focusing a lot of energy on this 2025 draft, and rightfully so. Dylan Harper should be the #1 pick, and he's phenomenal. Ace Bailey should be the #2 pick. He needs some development, but I can see his ceiling being the highest of anybody in this draft. Cooper Flagg should be the #3 pick. He needs some development too. You look at that 2026 draft, it's a lot of guys that are going to be 2, 3, 4, number 5 picks. But the number 1 pick is going to be AJ Dybantsa. And that is who y'all should be attaching y'all wagon to. I'm out the pond. Y'all stay true.
It's the Sunday